Hello children. Today we are going to discuss about your favorite topic, geometry. Yes, in geometry we are going to recall the basic concepts like point, line, line segment, rays, types of lines, angles and the types, how to measure angles, how to construct angles, all these things we are going to see in this video. Okay, let's start children.
What is this after class duty? Why can't we just go home?
Seriously, I have to run to my tuitions and I have not even finished my homework.
Come on, it will be fun. Huh? Let us see what we have got here. Flags, chalk dust.
So, what are you going to do?
Decorate the racetracks, I guess. That is what ma'am said. Put flags.
So, where do you start? Did she mention any specific point?
Point? No, she did not mention any point. What is a point?
Let me explain.
Point. A point is an exact location. In social science, while doing map work, we used to keep a dot to locate a place, right? So in geometry, a point is shown as a dot. A point has no exact length, breadth and thickness. It has no shape or size. It is generally used to locate an exact position. A point is named by using a capital letters. Here, the 3 points are named A, B and C. Now, is it clear children? What is a point? So, now you are thorough about a point. Okay. Now, a group of points can be collinear or non-collinear. Two categories. A group of points can be classified into two. One is collinear points and another one is non-collinear points. Let's see what are they. When 3 or more than 3 points lie on a same line, they are called collinear points. Here P, Q and R are collinear points. But when 3 or more points are not on a same line, then they are called non-collinear points. Here the 5 points D, E, A, B and F do not lie on the same line. Hence, they are non-collinear points. Is it clear children? What are collinear and non-collinear points?
Oh, I remember ma'am saying that the flags of each house need to be put in one straight line from one end to the other end of the path. I think that is what you meant when you asked points, right Dhruv?
Yes, exactly. Let me now explain you how to understand a line geometrically.
Next, lines and line segments. Line. A line is a set of points joined along a straight path. It has no ends and extends endlessly in opposite direction. Thus, arrow marks are drawn on both the sides to show that it never ends. A line cannot be measured. The given line here, the given line can be read as line AB or as line BA. It can be written as AB or BA with a double-headed line over it. Is that clear children? What is line? So, let's say this point is point A and the other end is point B. Now, let us take these 2 points and join them along a straight path. This straight path drawn to join 2 points is called a line segment. It has 2 endpoints and a fixed length which can be measured. We can even say that line segment is a part of line which has a fixed length. The given line segment can be read as line segment AB or BA. It can be written as segment AB or BA. Is it clear children? What is line and line segment?
Interesting. But I have always considered a line segment to be a line.
The assembly line in the morning is also actually a line segment because it has ends, right?
Right. Oh, I remembered another interesting thing about line segments.
Next is race. A line segment which extends endlessly in one direction is called a ray. Have you noticed the rays of the sun? They start from a light source which is the sun and go on endlessly in one direction. A ray has only one end point and does not have a fixed length because it goes on right on one direction. So it does not have a fixed length. Hence it cannot be measured. The above ray can be read as ray AB. It cannot be read as ray BA. The first letter should be the end point letter. It is called its initial point. It can be written as ray AB.
Fun, right? I just read this rule book regarding the length of the racetrack, and there are 100 meter, 200 meter, and 500 meter racetracks.
The racetrack is also a line segment. And measuring line segments is not a difficult job, Kabir.
We can measure a line segment using a ruler. First, let us measure this line segment, the given line segment. We will use a centimeter scale as a ruler. Okay, children? Okay. Now, place the 0 mark. Can you able to see the scale? So, place a 0 mark of the ruler along one end of the line segment. That is at point A. The marking on the ruler at which the line ends, that is the marking at point B, gives us the measure of line segment. Now what is the measure of the line segment here? The measure of line segment AB is equal to 8 centimeter.
Oh my god!
I came to help you. Do not worry, Isha. They are just parallel lines. We'll draw them back.
Parallel lines? What do you mean?
There are different types of lines, Kabir. Let me explain.
Next is types of lines. We have 3 types of lines: intersecting lines, parallel lines, and perpendicular lines. First, let's see what are intersecting lines. 2 lines which meet at a common point are called intersecting lines. Here, line AD and line BC intersect at common point O. The letter X, a pair of scissors, and intersecting junctions on roads are the examples of intersecting lines. Next, we'll see what are parallel lines. Lines which never meet and are always at an equal distance from each other are called parallel lines. Here, line AB and line CD are parallel to each other as they are at an equal distance from each other and they do not meet. The railway track is the best example of parallel line. And the other examples are stripes on a shirt and the lines on the pages of a notebook. Is that clear, children? What are parallel lines? Okay. Next, we'll see what are perpendicular lines. 2 lines which intersect and make a right angle at a common point are called perpendicular lines. Here, the line PQ and line RS intersect at point O and make a right angle at O. Thus, line PQ and line RS are perpendicular to each other. The arrangement of the wooden sticks of a kite is one of the best example. The other examples are edges of a table or a photo frame or a notebook are all the examples of perpendicular lines.
And the lines on the racetrack which you were worried about are parallel lines. So, we will look at one line and finish the other lines by drawing lines parallel to the first one. Okay, Kabir?
Yes. So, Isha, now that you have come all the way, help us in our work.
Yes, children. I hope you understood all these concepts, right? Okay. Next, let's see about angles and its types.
When playing football, your ultimate aim is to score a goal. Believe me, if you study your opponent properly and know your kicks, your angles, it is very easy to better your game and be a great footballer. Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's gear up for the match. You all have 20 minutes. Then we all meet here again for our warm-up game, okay?
Yes, sir.
Great!
Tough coach. Yeah, but he's a great teacher. Sometimes I don't understand what he says. He was saying something about angles. I wonder what that is.
Ta-da!
Of course. Why fear?
When Dhruv is here. What is it? Angles. If I'm not wrong.
Yes, our coach was telling us about kicks and something about angles. How are they related?
Every sport works on mathematical principles, especially angles. Let me explain. When two rays meet at one common point, an angle is formed. We can see angles formed by different objects around us. The hands of a clock. The arms of the divider in your geometry box. The edges of a table. The two rays which form the angle are called the arms of the angle. The common point where the rays meet is called the vertex of the angle. Look at these rays, AB and AC. They form an angle between them. So, both ray AB and ray AC are the arms of the angle. Point A is the vertex of the angle. This is the symbol used for an angle. Every angle is given a name. An angle can be named using 3 letters. The middle letter is always the vertex of the angle. We can name the given angle as angle BAC or angle CAB. The same angle can also be named by its vertex as angle A. The space between the arms of the angle is called the interior of the angle, and the space outside the angle is called the exterior of the angle.
But the coach said that know your kicks, your angles. How many angles are there to know?
There are numerous angles, but broadly we classify them according to their measure. An angle is not measured with respect to the length of its arms. Instead, it is measured in terms of the amount of turns taken between the two arms of an angle. The unit used to measure an angle is degree. This is the symbol used for degree. We use an instrument called the protractor to measure an angle. You can find it in your geometry box. The protractor has 2 sets of measurements written on it. These are called scales. There is an inner scale and an outer scale, both having 0 degree to 180 degree in opposite directions. The midpoint of the baseline is called the center point. Let us measure the given angle, angle ABC, given here. Step 1. Place the center point of the protractor over the vertex B of the angle and place the baseline exactly over the bottom line of the angle. Step 2. Look at the arm on the baseline. It points to 0 on the inner scale. Thus, we need to measure the angle on the inner scale. Step 3. Read the measurement on the scale, where the other arm of the angle and the scale meet. The scale and the arm meet at 90 degree. Thus, the angle measures 90 degrees. An angle measuring 90 degree is called a right angle. The capital letter L in the alphabet is one example of a right angle. The corners of your school blackboard also make a right angle. That's one type of angle. Let us learn about other types of angles. An angle whose measure is more than 0 degree but less than 90 degree is called an acute angle. Try to form a small V using your palms. It will form an acute angle. The hands of the clock at 2 o'clock, blades of a scissor are all examples of acute angles. An angle whose measure is more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees is called an obtuse angle. The hands of a clock at 4 o'clock. The angle formed by the Japanese fan shown are examples of obtuse angles. An angle whose measure is 180 degrees is called a straight angle. If two right angles are kept next to one another, they form a straight angle. A pencil or a pen, the edge of a ruler, or the book are examples of straight angles. An angle which measures 360 degrees is called a complete angle. When the arms of an angle takes one full turn, it is a complete angle.
So when he says know your angles, he
He meant that if you lift the ball with your kick in a certain angle, it will drift into the goalpost in a certain way.
Oh. So what angle? Acute or obtuse?
That depends on your position in the field.
Oh.
On paper, it is very easy to make these angles. Like if you want to draw an obtuse angle measuring 120 degrees, you first draw a ray. Let us draw a ray AB. Place the center point of the protractor on point A, such that the baseline of the protractor lies exactly on ray AB. Find the division of 120 degrees along the scale whose 0 degree mark lies on ray AB. Mark a point against the measure and name it C. Remove the protractor and draw a ray from the vertex A through point C using a ruler. Thus, we have angle CAB measuring 120 degrees. And if you know the basics on paper properly, then making great angles with great kicks on the field will not be a problem.
Okay, children, did you enjoy this class? Yes. I hope now you are thorough with the basic concepts in geometry, right? Now it is easy for you to draw a line segment for the given measure, and you know how to draw an angle using protractor, how to measure an angle, right? Yes. Here I have attached the worksheet. Pause the video. Try to do all the sums on your own. Okay, children. We'll see it in the next class with the another topic. Thank you.